Tensura X Gate. Thus the JSDF fought their X How Realist Hero Rebuild the Kingdom by NoruSensei. Chapter 4 Soma Pav. I'm still thinking what Rimuru-san said yesterday. Is she really a goddess? No, she is a goddess, there is no doubt about it. I first doubted it, but there are so many things left unexplainable. I just decided to believe her. I thought to myself as I sighed. Flashback. Soma, Lisha, Marks, Ludwin, Tomo, and Rimuru were in the office. After they have reached a conclusion to their decision, Soma decided to move to the next one. Soma. Who are you exactly? Seriously asked Rimuru. I am Rimuru King Soma. I'm Juna's mother and Excel-chan's mother. Lisha. Did you just say you were Duchess Walter's mother? Shockingly asks while can't believe what she just heard. Everyone in the room including Soma were shocked from what Rimuru just said to them. Then Soma finally decided to speak up. Soma. I'm sorry for my rudeness Rimuru-san, but... Paused for a second due to his hesitation. Rimuru. Do not be shy King Soma. Think of me for now as the Duchess's advisor. Calmly said as she saw through Soma's hesitation being her as the goddess. Soma. Then I will take your word for it. First, why do you know Japanese? You sang earlier as if you were also my fellow countryman. Second, how did you become Duchess Walter's mother if she is more than 500 years old? Lastly, who are you really? What are you after? Why did you suddenly show yourself in front of us? Seriously asks as he wants to know the answer. Rimuru. First I will answer your question. I often visit your country during my free time. Lisha. How is it possible to travel between worlds? Curiously and suspiciously ask. Rimuru. I can go through different dimensions without getting any risk nor destroying the universe. Soma. You're saying this as if you are the goddess itself. Rimuru. Era. You're really an observant King Soma. Everyone was again shocked to Rimuru's comment. Rimuru. Again I will introduce myself, I'm Rimuru Tempest. True deity of all universe. In other terms, I'm the original creator of this world. Everyone opened their eyes in disbelief. Lisha then have gone into deep thoughts. Meanwhile Soma doesn't know how to react. Soma. I don't see any lies from her. If that is the case then it must be true. I think she may answer our questions about this world. Lisha. Rimuru Tempest. Where did I heard her name? Ah, I remembered, back in our class back at Royal Academy. Our teacher once told a story of a forgotten myth among us. This was before I studied at Royal Officers Academy. In the myth it was said that Rimuru created this world for thousands of years ago. Yet again I can't believe that I will see her in person. She is really beautiful, it's out of the world. Well, she is the goddess after all. Soma. Original creator? So that really means you are a true deity of this world. Rimuru. Exactly my child. As for what I am doing right now, I am the chancellors of the nation called Jura Tempest Federation. You could say that our country is the strongest here in this world. Ludwin. In this world. It may be rude, but what do you mean in this world Rimuru-sama? Nervously asked because of her presence. Rimuru. It means that this world, or should I say this continent, and the continent from my country already became one in terms of time and world concept. Soma. Is there any other continents that had merged? Rimuru. Yes, another being is the continent called Falmart. As of the current the JSDF is at war against the Empire in that continent. Soma. They wouldn't come here and just do rash things like invading, right? He nervously asked as he knew how strong the JSDF is. Rimuru. Don't worry about them, they didn't know that this continent even existed yet. Secondly, they didn't just started to fight the country. That empire were the first ones to enter this portal, called Gate. They slaughtered hundreds of Japanese lives. So the Japanese government started to react to it as they started the war against the unknown enemy. Marks. What is this JSDF you speak of, Your Majesty and our goddess? Soma. JSDF, or in our world we called them as the SDF, as a self-defense forces created back in 1957 for Japan's national defense after Japan's defeat against the Americans in World War II. The SDF was created purely out of the country's self-defense against the threat of communism at the time. Rimuru. In other terms, it's a military that its sole purpose is to only defend the country when they're attacked or threatened by other nations. All, except Rimuru and Soma, I see. Then they were processing the information they just got. Then after that Lisha broke the silence. Lisha. It may be rude to ask this now. Are you really this, Rimuru Tempest? Who created our world? I remember reading your myth from the Royal Academy when I was still a student. But still I can't believe that I just saw you in person today, Rimuru-sama. I hope she doesn't find it rude. It was so hard to speak at her. Now that we know she is the literal goddess. Rimuru. Yes dear, I'm that goddess from the myth. Lisha. I see. Rimuru. I was also just observing and also managing the other worlds I have created. When I have a free time I visit other worlds, like Soma's world for example. Soma. Then can we know more about your nation, Rimuru-sama? I remembered you saying that you had a nation called Jura Tempest Federation. Soma stiffens up a bit. Rimuru. Rimuru is enough. You are the king of this nation. As for my nation, Jura Tempest Federation consists of monsters, demons, beastmen, spirits, dragons, demi-humans, and humans to live in harmony. Ludwin. D-demon you say? Ludwin tries to pull out his sword but stopped by Soma. Soma. Does this mean you have a connection to this invasion of this continent? The others tensed up. Rimuru. No sweetie. I don't know how they got here also. That is why I visited this world to find something out, but it seems that I will be leaving that task to you. Hero King Soma Kazuya. Soma. Can I get some more information about your nation's continent at? Rimuru. But it comes with a price. Are you still willing to know? Asks in a serious tone as she releases 0.000001% of her aura. This was more than enough to cause a minor earthquake. Nothing was destroyed. Soma. I accept Rimuru-san. I have no choice here, she is very powerful. Rimuru. Very well. In this continent that our nation came, there are several more nations, almost all of them are under in my direct control. There are also what we called primordial demons. They all served under me. First being known as Rouge. He got a name. It was Guy Crimson. The one who named him or just called him was his enemy at the time, true hero Rudra. It was more than 2,000 years ago. Soma. Before we get to each of their backgrounds, how many of these primordial demons are we talking about here? Rimuru. There are 7 primordial demons. Now the primordial demons are the oldest and most extraordinarily powerful demons. Each of them are referred by their signature colors rather than an actual name. These substitute names don't count as their actual names in the true sense of being a named monster. First being Red Primordial, Rogue, now known as Guy Crimson, has flowing crimson red hair and eyes. He was the former leader of Octagram. Many known titles such as Lord of Darkness, True Demon Lord, and Ancient Demon Lord. Green Primordial, Vert, now known as Misery, wears a deep bluish silver-maid outfit and has long, curly green hair and eyes. She is my personal maid and the second commander of my wife's corps known as Pink Numbers or Horikyasuda Pink Corps. Blue Primordial, Blue, now known as Rain, wears a deep bluish silver-maid outfit and has short blue hair and eyes. Also my personal maid. The youngest among the primordial demons. Black Primordial, Noir, now known as Diablo, wears a full butler attire with white gloves. He has black hair with a strand of red in the front. He is my personal butler and commander of my personal corps, Black Numbers. Has the title of Devil Lord. White Primordial, Blanc, now known as Testarossa, has silver hair, snow-white skin, and red eyes. I call her as Testa for short. She wears a military uniform. Ambassador to the Western Council. Tempest Military Attaché, one of the second in command of Black Numbers. Finally has the title of Killer Lord. Yellow Primordial, John, now known as Carrera, has short blonde hair and blue eyes. Wears military uniform, Chief Justice Officer of the Supreme Court, one of the second in command in Black Numbers. Has the title of Menace Lord. And lastly, Purple Primordial, Violet, now known as Ultima. She is the shortest among all the primordial. Purple hair with a ponytail on the side and yellow eyes. Having an appearance of 16 years old. Also wears a military uniform. Chief Prosecutor of the Public Prosecution Office, General of Black Numbers, only a slight higher than Carrera. Has the title of Pain Lord. Before I forgot to tell you, they're my children and subordinates. Soma. What an interesting army names you had there, Rimuru-san. Lisha. Wait. Are those your most elite units in your country? Nervously asks. Rimuru. Era, you noticed it. What is this, a woman's intuition perhaps? Teasingly said. Soma. I will not ask you about your military strength for now, Rimuru-san. But what is your goal? Seriously asks. Rimuru. I'm here interested in the world you are going to lead in the future. I already knew about their future, so I just made this convenient excuse. Ludwin. Aren't you a goddess? Why don't you know what will happen in our future? Soma again tries to stop him, but Ludwin already have said those words already. Rimuru. It's fine, my child. Now to answer your question. I don't want to just look at the future. I want to know it myself without looking at it. Soma. If you are here at the kingdom, Rimuru-san, does that mean Duchess Walter is going to cooperate with us? Curiously asked. Rimuru. You will get your answer from her personally. Rimuru then brought out a copy of Gemstone Broadcast. It has some similar condition, but the difference is Rimuru had made them from pure diamond. Then she started to contact Excel. Then almost immediately she answers. Excel. Yes, Okawa-sama? She said in her serious voice and expression. Soma. So Rimuru-san was telling the truth about being Duchess Walter's mother. Rimuru. Eggs-chan. King Soma here wants to talk about something important. Excel. Something important? She tilts her head in a cute way. Soma. That is right, Duchess Walter. Excel. Very well, let's hear it. Looks at Soma serially. Soma. I want you to serve under me. I'm currently planning to unite our forces into one structural army. Excel. What will happen to me, to Juna, if we promised our allegiance to you? Soma. For now I would want you to keep your title. I'll tell you in the future if there are any changes. Excel. I see, then what about Okawa-sama? Soma. Rimuru-san can be my personal advisor when it comes to this kind of affair. Excel. Okawa-sama, what can you say about King Soma? Rimuru. He has some potential, dear. You can trust him on that. I can see he will not abuse his power as a king. Lisha. May I, Duchess Walter? She had a determined look on her face. Excel. Yes, you may, Lisha-sama. Lisha. Thank you very much. I, Lisha Elfrenden, will swear to watch and support Soma as my king and future husband. As the future queen of this kingdom, I will also promise to you that Soma will not abuse his power as our king. I was with him these past few weeks. I can see that Soma gives his efforts to change our kingdom for the better. He wants us to be united, and help each other to overcome our crisis. As for you, Rimuru-sama, I will promise to lessen Soma's burden. To be honest, at first I thought Soma forced my father to give the throne to him. But when I spend my time with him, I can see that he is not a bad king. For me, I'm willing to serve my king as his queen. I will swear to never leave his side and see this through until the end, she said seriously as she blushed. Rimuru. I thought you were just promising to Excel-chan, but you also swear to me. This is really unexpected. Soma. Lisha. Looks to Lisha with confidence and determination. Excel. Then I, Excel Walter, Duchess of Lagoon City, will pledge allegiance to you, Your Majesty. She then kneels in front of Soma and the rest to show she is pledging her loyalty. End of flashback. Back to present. After Excel pledged her allegiance, we finished our meeting, then Rimuru-san started to cook. I still remembered that her cooking is so delicious. As of now I'm at the throne room. In front of me I saw Marks and this guy Hakuya kneeling. I have Rimuru-san at my side currently and my new bodyguard Aisha is at my back. Thank you so much for giving us your time, Your Majesty, Marks said as he lifts his face to me. How is he, Marks? I asked. This man has a highest potential to be your new Prime Minister, Your Majesty. As such, I want to retire as the Prime Minister and buy a land to have my final moments of my life in peace, he said. Very well, now then Hakuya. Do you accept to be my Prime Minister? I looked at him as I asked. Hi, Your Majesty. I'll accept it with gratitude, Hakuya replies as he lowers his head deeply. Then, from now on, Marks, you are retired as the Prime Minister. Hakuya, you will be my new Prime Minister. Serve me well, I declared. Hi, Your Majesty, both of them said at the same time. Now then, Your Majesty. As your new prime minister, I'll give you a recommendation, Hakuya said. Tell me, what is it? I asked. Recently you are not having enough rest. I suggest you have a day off and have a date with Lisha-sama. Oh ho ho, I agree, for that it may shorten the process to have a heir. Marx agrees. But can't I just have a day off here? I asked him. No, that wouldn't be good, my child. The reason why Hakuya-kun suggested this to you is to let the ministers have a bit of less pressure. Also, this is a great opportunity to explore the capital with Lisha-chan. Am I right, Hakuya-kun? Rimuru-san said what is Hakuya's intentions and asked him if she is on the spot. Hi, you are correct, Rimuru-sama, Hakuya replied. Just take the next day off, sweetie. You can also have Aisha to protect you and also me. Take Lisha out of the date and know each other more. Rimuru-san said as she teases me and giggles. I know you are doing this on purpose to have me flustered in front of them, Rimuru-san. And it worked actually. Well, almost. I managed to barely keep my composure in front of them. I thought to myself as I sighed in defeat. Third POV. Somewhere out in the desert, the Special Region Recon Team 3 units are escorting the villagers. They also have a lady sitting on their commander's lap. Her name is Rory Mercury. After some time they saw something from the sun. At first it was just a lost wyvern, but that was eaten by the flame dragon itself. Then the disaster came into them. The flame dragon started to attack them. Some wagons are burned, some people are injured and killed by the blast. Atami and his soldiers also noticed this, so they started to confront the dragon by firing its Sumitomo M2HB 12.7mm armor-piercing rounds machine gun. But it was shown to be ineffective against the flame dragon. Then Atami ordered his squad to move fast and dodge its breath. He then ordered leading Private Katsumoto Wataru to use Nissan IHI 110mm LAM to at least damage the flame dragon away. N. Nissan IHI 110mm LAM is a Japanese licensed build version of the German Panzerfaust III. Katsumoto was preparing to take a shot of the weapon, but he remembered the important rule before firing it. Oops, I must look behind first to check if there is no person will be caught by its short fire blast. You should have done that first, all of them said at the same time. Then he fired the first shot. It was less effective as it hits the body. Then suddenly the elf woke up. She was telling something to Atami. The elf was pointing something. She is pointing her eyes. What does it mean? Oh. Atami thought to himself, then he realized what was the elf trying to tell. All units shoot the dragon's eye, Atami ordered. Then all units aimed at the flame dragon's eye and started firing. It was shown to be effective. Then a second shot of the lamb was fired but missed. Rory, who saw this, threw her weapon. It was spinning, then it guided the missile to hit the dragon into the arm. Then as Rory's weapon landed, the ground had cracks, as it shows that the weapon was that strong. The dragon was seen hurt by it, then it fleeced from the place. Then as they saw this, Atami and his units stopped the vehicle. Timeskip. Atami was currently being scolded by his commanding officer as he brought some refugees back to their camp. He was then forced to take the responsibility and started to do the messy paperwork. Atami later known that the name of the elf they saved was Tukaluna Marceau, from elf race called High Elf, and her age is 165 years old, but despite her age she looks like a 16-year-old elf. Next, the archmage and sorceress of the human race Lilela Lilina, 16 years old. Together with her is the elder mage Kato El Altestan, 60 years old. After some time, Atami was again at paperwork to set up their temporary shelter, food and clothes. Weirdly, Tuka always asked for 2 persons. This got Kurikawa concerned for the elf's mental health. Mospov. I'm currently watching Testarossa-sama's interesting subjects. Otto, whoops. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Moss, from the White lineage, or should I say I'm under Testarossa-sama as her lieutenant. It's not just me. Cian is currently back at Tempest helping as Testarossa-sama's secretary. As you know, Rimuru-sama is the one who gave me my name. As of the moment they're building something, make a shelter for the refugees that they have brought. Well, it doesn't concern me. I must follow through Testarossa-sama's orders. You may think that I'm not under Rimuru-sama. No, you are wrong. Rimuru-sama was the one who gave me the order to replace Testarossa-sama for the meantime. The reason? Testarossa-sama said to me that she was ordered by Rimuru-sama to go back at Tempest. Must be Carrera-sama and Ultima-sama again. I thought to myself as I observed the so-called JSDF. What am I currently wearing, you ask? Recently Rimuru-sama said to wear the new uniform. This consists of a hat called beret. The color was black as to represent our black numbers. In the beret it has the symbol of our goddess when Rimuru-sama was still ultimate slime. We wear a black polo and black necktie. We also wear the black combat blazer uniform with golden lining. We also have a white pin that represents our white lineage. For the us males we wear a black pants, and as for the females they wear a black skirt. This was given to us by Rimuru-sama herself few days ago. The pure black polo were only for the black numbers officers and generals. The rest of the black numbers had white polo. Our new uniform was so beautiful and formal. As expected of Rimuru-sama, I thought to myself as I gave a smile on my face. Rimuru, parallel existence. POV. Today is now Soma-kun's day off. It means that today is the day they will go out on a date and explore the capital city. Currently I'm sitting beside of Aisha. I'm currently wearing a Royal Officers Academy instructor uniform, while Soma-kun and both of the girls are wearing the Royal Officers Academy student uniform. Why are wearing these? It was for our undercover, in order not to let the people panic to see their king is on the capital. As for me, I had to wear this uniform in order not to stand out. I was so famous that they knew about my appearance. I didn't expect it to be like this though. I thought to myself as I sighed. Less than it was to be expected it will turn out like this, master. Sigh greater than Seal said as she had a long sigh. Greater than what's up with the sigh, Seal? Also what about it? I'm having fun for my cover. Less than HMPF. Greater than. Anyway, ignoring Seal, we then arrived at the specific destination. The center of Parnam. It was a decent city. It was almost like Tempest 79 years ago. I mean, I knew I can't compare Tempest to this one. But I'm looking forward to the change of this city in the future. We got off from the royal carriage and started to explore some parts of the city. After some time we went to a park and rest there for few minutes. Aisha was asleep while Soma was resting on Lisha-chan's lap, while I'm on a shade of the tree listening to what happened back in Rimuru City. Of course they were reporting back to my parallel existence back in Tempest. The summary was, there was a man who seemed to be suspicious. Sue reported this to Ultima. Then Ultima invited Carrera to find this suspicious man and torture him. That suspicious person was turned out to be one of the spies of this old organization that still hated to be under the rule of mine. Yes, you guessed it. It was back to the empire that Masayuki is now managing as my head there. It seems that the spy was planning something against us. Fortunately for us, Ultima and Carrera had captured him. But unfortunately that spy was sentenced by Carrera to be tortured by the both of them however they wanted. I had Testa ordered to come back at Tempest to scold Carrera and Ultima that they had caused a ruckus, according to what had Sue reported to me. It looks like those two are talking about something important. I thought to myself while looking at Soma and Lisha. And it looks like Aisha was awake. It was already at the important part. Anu, how long do I have to pretend to be asleep? Aisha asked. Both Soma-kun and Lisha-chan were surprised by it, then looked away at each other. Time skip. We then entered to a restaurant called Prima Lorelei, where Juna-chan works. When we entered at the restaurant, Juna-chan recognizes us, but then Soma came up with a name as Kazuya, who is a merchant. Good thing Juna-chan is catching up to this. I am proud of her as her mother. We then took a seat at a vacant table, then we ordered some food. Moments later after we ate we are hearing someone in an argument. You mustn't howl. A fox-like girl in a green military uniform similar to Lisha's red. Less than correction. That girl over there is a mystic fox master. Greater than Seal causally commented. Greater than a mystic fox, huh? It kinda reminds me of Kumara. Less than. Less than master. This individual's name is Kaide Foxia. Currently she is a mage of Forbidden Army under King Soma's orders. Greater than Seal informs me. Greater than thank you for the short information, Seal. Less than. Less than anything for master. Greater than I can feel that she is happy. Basically in their conversation Kaide is persuading Halbert Magna to not join at Duke Carmine's army. Then Kaide tells how Soma is a very dangerous and intelligent king. Soma, who had heard this, went near to Kaide and asked her. How can say so? Kaide continues for a bit, then when she looked into Soma, she had realized. Then we went into a private room that only us can hear. Atami Yuji Pav. After a few days of those paperwork, we were assigned to escort the refugees named Rory Mercury, Tuca Luna Marceau, and Lele Lalina to Italica. But when we arrived near at a supposed Italica, there was smoke coming out from the city's direction. Then we rushed to help them. Time skip. Currently we are standing in a closed gate of the city. We stopped our vehicle and stepped out one by one. I then approached the gate to knock, but apparently I got hit by the gate with force by the princess of an empire named Pina Company Lada. She was currently defending the city of Italica from the imperial army turned bandits who attacked the city. They're currently at siege by them. Then we walked towards the room where we would discuss the current state of their defense. I started to understand her more. Maybe it was because I got hit at my head by a wooden gate. I thought to myself as I followed her. After the discussion, the rest of us we led in the city. We were tasked to defend the south side of the gate. Basically they made us as a bait for those bandits. We then prepared ourselves for the upcoming battle. Testarossa Pav. I just got back from Tempest to scold Ultima and Carrera from what they did. Currently I'm observing the 3rd Recon team. They're at the city called Italica. Apparently they were being attacked by the survivors of the last battle at Alnus Hill. Those lowlife humans, they started to attack a civilian city just to satisfy their desires. How pitiful of them, I thought to myself as I looked at the bandits with disgusted. Moss. I called my subordinate. Hi Testarossa Sama. He appeared. It looks like we're gonna have some fun later. I said as I smiled widely. Did you request a permission from Rimuru Sama to help them? He asked. Of course. The moment you reported it to me I already asked Okawa-sama's permission. I replied cheerfully. This is going to be an interesting fight. I pity Diablo, Ultima and Carrera for not having this opportunity. I thought to myself as I made a wider smile. I then looked to the individual named Atami Yuji. We'll meet up soon, Atami. Now what will you do to that princess? I murmured to myself as I observed from the night sky.